Vulnerability, the inability to withstand the effects of a hostile environment. Vulnerability, the quality of being easily hurt or attacked. Vulnerability comes from a Latin word, vulnus, which means wound. Vulnerability is a state of genuinely opening up yourself, your true self, to someone or people. Hi, welcome back to Elevation Chapter, the space that promotes human connection, spreads positivity to recover humanity. My name is Nellyo. We are going to approach this vulnerability from the point of human connection, because to connect well and enjoy meaningful relationships, we need to be vulnerable a lot. Let me tell you a bit about myself. I was the type that would sit on fire, like burning fire, and let it burn me properly without making any attempt to seek for help. I was terrible at this. You would never catch me crying for help at all. I would swallow my pain with no single regret. And that would make me feel superstars. I thought I was strong, and I looked at vulnerable people to be weak. Damn! I danced to this song for quite some good years. But if I can tell you right now, I was totally wrong. You know, the universe is always fair with us. The universe worked hard to fix me and fix this in my life. And you know, I teamed up with it. Then it landed me in the right arms of very few collected persons that made me feel safe, and I started opening up one bit at a time. And right now I can say, that's a great decision that I made. Vulnerability is one thing we all need to sign up to. I was in denial for too long. It's not a cool place to be. And please, don't stay there. If you are there, don't stay there for long. So let me share with you the 5 ways how I transitioned to this safe space of being vulnerable and strong at the same time. Number 1, study your social network. Vulnerability opens us up to feeling exposed and humiliated. It's hard to be vulnerable when we feel shame, but being vulnerable and connecting with others is actually what we need to overcome it. This has to happen within your network. So you have a task to study your network to the dot. Yes. Put in time and evaluate each person. Dissect who they are, their values, their principles, their mannerisms, everything about them. All this matters. I am assuming that you already know who you are in terms of the values, principles, and mannerisms, because it won't make sense to study your network before you study yourself. Number 2, match and drop. This is the time you ought to have your heart switched off and your mind switched on. Emotionally, you will feel some people on your list are very much close to you, but unfortunately, they don't match your values, your principles, and mannerisms. And there, reality hits you. You realize you cannot be vulnerable to them. That's why you need your mind switched on and your heart switched off. And by the way, don't be shocked if your entire list is dropped. It's very normal. It happens. You can keep friends with them, but you cannot afford to be vulnerable in their faces. The match and drop list is very crucial on the journey of being vulnerable. Number 3, test the shortlisted people. Now, I learned this from one of my mentors. You have to have a shortlist. If you have your shortlist ready, congratulations. So then now you have to test their integrity, their professionalism, their loyalty, everything. Everything you want to test. Their dependability, their reliability, everything. Think about everything that you would wish to test them on. However, this needs to be done tactfully. They shouldn't sense any bit that you're testing them, otherwise you won't get accurate results. This part is key. It takes a long time to get the results, and so don't you rush it. Don't rush it. I wish you luck on this particular one. It's tricky. Number 4. Celebrate your results. I have learned the power of celebrating both big and small wins. To me, they are all big wins that deserve attention. You can take yourself out, you can gift yourself something, you can travel somewhere that you wanted to go if resources allow you. Take that walk that you usually like, watch that movie that you've been longing for, buy that wine and celebrate. You need to celebrate, because reaching that far on making your list is not easy. Number 5. Go forth, be vulnerable. Even if you have the person or persons that you have already selected to be vulnerable to, please don't undress yourself fully at a go. You might freak out. Do it in bits. If you are a lady, for example, you can start by removing your earrings. If you're a gentleman, you can start by removing your tie. All I am trying to say here is don't open up so fast. You need to grow into it. Otherwise, anxiety will set in. So take your time, because this grows with time. You'll find that you have put your guard down and your heart can breathe. You'll find the superpower in being vulnerable. Only the strong ones can be vulnerable. The weak cannot even attempt. You see, I was equally weak. I am personally excited about this vulnerability journey. I wish it for someone out there. I wish it for you who is watching. Thank you so much for watching. Please go ahead and share the video. Our day's quote is from Brené Brown. Vulnerability is not weakness, and that myth is profoundly dangerous. Vulnerability is the birthplace of connection and the path to the feeling of worthiness. If it doesn't feel vulnerable, the sharing is probably not constructive. That's it for today. Go on, start the vulnerability challenge. Let's go. Cheers!